I know now that my wife has become host to a Kandarian demon. I fear that the only way to stop those possessed by the spirits of the book is through the act of bodily dismemberment.
It's truly frightening.
This is
Because you were home.
oh man, I got this. Big one for me too, man. Yeah.
Greetings and salutation. It is Thursday night. That means it is 3 Corners of Horror live here on Horror Fiend TV. I am Joe the Psychologist. Thank you for joining us. Let me introduce you to my brothers here. First up, JR, the villain. How you doing tonight? I can't hear you.
2 weeks in a row.
Damn, muted again. It was funny because at the beginning you get to stay still, so I was like, all right, let me just mute the stuff. But yeah, is this the rise of horror romance? There's 2 films already this year and well received by Rotten Tomatoes, but are it gonna be well received here? I don't know, maybe a little too much loving or just a maybe time to unplug that switch.
All right, and my beer brother Rick, how you doing tonight?
What up, Joe the Psychologist? I'm doing great. I'm ready to have a few beers and talk some horror flicks. It's weird. Jared mentioned a love film. I didn't get that at all from this. Not saying Jared's wrong. I just, when I saw it, I didn't think of it as a rom-com or nothing. Did you, Joe?
Well, I mean, it wasn't a rom-com, but it was somewhat of a love story. Somewhat.
Yeah, but
A twisted
movie
one.
got a little bit of love.
It does. And
If you
with
look
that,
for it.
if you are unlucky in love, if you are looking for a companion during... Shoot, I already messed that up.
We're live, pal.
I know, it's all right. I don't care. I'll start again. All right. If you are unlucky in love and you're looking for someone to fill your days or a warm body at night, contact Empathic, where you can order your companion, released on January 31st, 2025. It is written and directed by DREW HANCOCK, and it stars Sophie Thatcher as Iris, Jack QUAID as Josh, Lucas Cage as Patrick, and Harvey Guillen as Eli. I see. At least when we used to do it before when we recorded, I got another chance to do that again. But it's all right. We're all good. And yes, with that, tonight we're going to be discussing Companion. It is currently streaming on HBO Max. And if you were lucky to catch it in the theaters, lucky for you. I wished I really saw this one in the movies. And also, if you were like me, I'm not going to lie, I saw the trailer for this movie, so I had a little bit of an idea. It wasn't my choice. Again, the movie, these fucking
Close
theaters.
your ears, shut your eyes. Yeah, I do that in front of people. I do it in public. I don't care, bro. I ain't watching no trailer.
I thought when it started, I wasn't thinking it was going to be a trailer for a horror movie either. But yeah, so I saw the trailer, had an idea, but as the movie plays out, it actually is a whole other movie that you weren't even thinking, at least for me. And you realize that Iris and Josh, they go to this couple's weekend on this beautiful cabin. And I'm not gonna lie, when Adam took me to the family cabin, I had the same thing because I was imagining like a cabin in Friday the 13th. And it was this huge house. And I'm like, well, this isn't like, some little scary cabin. It was a huge ass mansion. But, Iris was going there with some reservations because she felt the friends didn't like her. There was already little odd things kind of going on. But then as you're watching the movie, don't jump. Well, I'll jump into, the whole what happens with Iris and everything. But as you were watching the movie, were you starting to realize that this was actually going a totally different way, that Iris was pretty much being used for this other whole plan? Like, JR, I'm going to go to you first on that.
No, I don't think so. I mean, the whole thing was her fitting in. You felt like there was something different about her, but there was hints in the beginning quickly that what we're gonna find out about her later on. But nah, as far as the whole plot and twist, I didn't see that coming. Anything with Jack QUAID, he always plays a slick hero turned villain quick. So this is like part of his character already in a lot of films he's been doing lately.
He's a weasel.
Yeah, he is. He is. So you kind of knew, he was up to no good. No, it was definitely something different. And I mean, I do think it's more of the horror romance elements that are coming into play, because like when we did Hardy Eyes, that was a lot of horror romance, and if you take away the horror elements, you have a rom-com. Let's be honest, that's what it is. But it's the twists were definitely I didn't see it coming, and man, poor Sergey.
That's your boy. Whenever I think of Sergey, I think of Kraven the Hunter.
Well, it's funny. I didn't even recognize Rupert Friend as Sergey until I later. I knew recognized the other one. I was like, that was Rupert. Holy
I
shit!
didn't recognize him either.
Yeah, the dude disappeared into Sergey. What about you, Rick? Were you, as you were watching it, did you start feeling like the movie was actually going to be a little bit different?
Well, let me ask you a question, Joe the Psychologist. When you saw the trailer, did they tell you that she was a robot in the trailer? Like, did you know that going in? Like, how would they hide that? That's why I don't watch these trailers.
I want to say that it was not so much that, somewhat. It was like hinted. I know that there are other trailers released because there's more than one. Just so happened the one that I caught in the theater, it hinted. I kind of was thinking it was going to be, which I kind of felt the way that the movie started was a bit of an homage to the Stepford Wives.
That's how it ended.
So
yeah, good show. You're
this
right.
is that's what when the movie started right from the beginning, I went, we're doing Stepford Wives here. So that's when because Stepford Wives on that one, you had something also to figure out in both the original and the remake, and that's when my brain goes, yeah, you got to pay attention to this because it's going to be a little bit more different.
Yeah. As for me, like, I mean, obviously the poster, the image art, the promo material, and the name itself, I knew already that she was a robot, an automaton, or whatever you want to call her. It just gives it away in the marketing, and I don't see trailers, so I hate watching movies knowing something and just waiting for it to happen. But I wasn't 1000% sure, obviously. So as I'm watching it, there's hints, obviously. Then when it does happen, I wasn't like blown away, but I was like, okay, cool. It is what I thought. Let's see where the story goes. But they give you a lot of hints in there, if you're looking for that kind of thing. But it's hard. I can't answer that question truthfully because I knew going in because of the marketing that she wasn't normal, obviously. I don't know about you guys, but this was like a Black Mirror episode on the big screen to me.
Yeah.
This felt completely Black Mirror, and I love Black Mirror. So I love this type of like, it's like modern, but yet it has like futuristic elements and stylized portions of it that's more transcendent to like sci-fi, but in a way where it's not like Star Wars sci-fi. It's sci-fi that we're heading into. You know what I mean? Because they have robots like this, not like Iris, obviously, but there are robots that are coming out that are like companions, and you see them. You guys see those creepy ass videos. I love stuff like that because it is fascinating. Because I'm gonna be long dead and gone by the time they get this advanced. But just seeing a glimpse of it, I think it's cool. I'm always enthralled and entrusted into the narrative when it comes to source material like that. When it comes to like real life technology integrated into film, I love that. So yeah, I hate to say it, but I wasn't like blown away at the fact that oh my gosh, she's a robot. Cause
you already knew.
You knew the name and her eyes. She looks different already, so you knew it was something to that nature. You know.
All right. I mean, and like I said, for me, when I was watching it, because obviously. The one thing I saw in the trailer was they did show Iris walking out the door and she was covered in blood. And I'm like, all right, so obviously something's going to go wrong with, the programming, is this can be like Megan? And I'm sitting there going, please don't let this be like, just a really pretty
Megan vibes too.
Yeah. So I was like, please don't let it be like Megan. But before I go on, let's see if we got any comments here.
I did like the fact that she did not know, though. I like that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It was as opposed to something like Megan. All right, Adam M. What up, fellas? I enjoyed this movie. The twists were great. I will say the other second twist, it got me. I wasn't expecting that. We'll talk about that. Selena says, okay, hello, Selena. Hello, everyone. I gotta start vetting these. I have to say, I really enjoyed the movie last night. Awesome. And once again, Joe,
I agree with that one.
No, not at all.
All right, hold hold on. Now that she says that, JR, do you agree?
I agree.
When I saw Eli, I'm like, holy shit, that's Joe.
I like Joe.
I see Joe in this. Not,
No, it's
you don't think you look like him? Oh
maybe looks, not the way he behaves.
No,
Maybe-
not that.
Okay.
Not that.
I was like,
But wait,
looks
just,
wise, I
bro,
can see
the
similarities.
hair, the smile, his
He's like a younger version
mannerisms,
of
you know?
me.
No, but the scene where they're walking in the woods, him and Patrick, I thought, yeah, that Joe. This is something Joe would do.
Yeah, it's almost reversed. It's like Joe and Adam, but Patrick was a cook when Joe was a cook in this relationship. So
Pretty much. Well, since you brought
Joe's in the movie.
since you had brought up Patrick, and since Eli was brought up, my little bonus question was gonna be: did y'all figure out that Peter was a robot?
Patrick.
Patrick, I'm sorry, Patrick was a robot. I'll go to you first, Rick.
No, I'll be honest. I
Haven't got you?
not at all. Once I knew, obviously, when you were supposed to know. Once Kat said, "There's," she wanted to split the money 3 ways. But Eli kept saying, oh, it's 3 ways, sorry. But Eli kept saying, no, it's 4 ways. Then I said, oh, this motherfucker's a companion. That's when I knew. Then once he said, Patrick, go to sleep or whatever he said, I'm like, damn, all right, I did not see that. And I should have known because when he told the story of how they met, very similar as the story of Iris meeting Josh,
Yeah. Very idyllic.
I should have picked it up. I should have picked up on that. But see, the movie wasn't clear because it's weird because Josh claims he was this guy living in a shitty apartment. He wanted to rob this guy because he was poor. But yeah, he could afford a robot and has a fucking talking car. You know what I mean? So this world, I want to know more about it. That's the one thing I wanted to know more about. Like, what year did this take place in? They never said the year at all.
No.
But that aside, yeah, man. To answer that bonus one, it got me. That's what I'm saying. The second twist, I was like, oh, that's cool. I like that. Now we know it's like, all right, it's not something it's something common. Anyone could just have one of these things. Like he said too, he was renting it. He didn't purchase it. So maybe that leads to maybe the affordability of these robots.
What about you, JR?
Yeah, I think that dinner scene, because he was talking too similar to the way, Iris was talking about that. That was a clear indication. Yeah, and then his behavior, it was always doing everything for Eli. The fact that he was a cook kind of gave it away too.
GR, let me ask you a question, because you're eagle eye. Did Patrick ever eat anything or drink anything in this movie? Because that's one thing with Iris, if you notice, she never did. They offered her a drink, she always turned it down because they don't have to eat. That's another hint that. But okay, so Patrick never. I gotta go back and watch this a second time, just to catch all these.
He didn't drink. He just.
Oh, and he was cooking all that fucking. When people cook, it always makes me hungry, bro. I don't know what it is, bro.
No, yeah, it was. I figured that out pretty quick because their behavior was similar, and even the funny things when they interacted, Iris and Patrick interacted with each other about love. There was that disconnect there because they're connected to the people they love. So even when they're talking about the feelings, his response wasn't a response that a normal human person would make. It was almost like he couldn't connect with her with his response. It's almost everything that he said to Eli with love. But when she asked him a question, she talked about she understands. He had this look like he was lost. So there was a lot of subtle hints, in that dinner scene.
I didn't figure the twist out at first at all. It took me by surprise. Yeah, I hope I took everyone else by surprise too, because that was nice. Because going in, like I said, we knew about Iris in a sense, but the fact that they introduced a second robot into the picture, second companion, that was cool.
Well, I figured that one out mad quick, and and not to be mean or anything, but because when I was Eli's age, probably around he is now,
See, you're Eli.
See?
I was thicker like Eli was, and I couldn't bag the guy that looked like Patrick did, or Patrick did.
I could not look at Eli and not think of you, Joe. I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm sorry, bro.
I'm sorry. I was like, look at Joe and Adam, man.
I couldn't believe it, bro.
Anyways, but yeah. So when I looked at him, I'm like, no, he's a robot because
Cool, all right.
I put myself in Eli's shoes. When I myself was heavier that way, and I said to myself, I couldn't, and I didn't. So I was realistic, and I go, it's a robot. He's got that. That's his companion also. So when it showed it that it was, I was like, and I told Adam, I'm like, I knew it, but it was only just because I put myself in Eli's shoes and knowing that I probably couldn't catch something like that. And
Oh, man,
it was
Eli
great.
was a pretty charming guy, though.
Oh, he
man.
is, but but still, to sit around and have somebody cater to you like that and look like that, unless you got a lot of money. But yeah, so then we end up finding out that yes, there is a bigger plan here, and Iris is basically going to be used for this master plan. And Josh decides to jailbreak her. Which I gotta say the jailbreaking part was a little bit, the little scenes, especially when she got control of the pad and everything. It was a little hilarious to put a little comedy in it, but still keep it on the fact that it's a reaction, especially when she looked at her intelligence and she's like,
40%.
Really, Josh? Really? It's like, so, let's dive into what happens once Josh jailbreaks her. If you have not seen the movie yet, is gonna get completely spoiled from you. Going to get completely spoiled for you here, because another part is that this is another one of those movies that a plan was put in place, and then when it comes to the end, like they even fucked over the wrong person, which it makes the whole entire plan honestly really fucked up. What they did to Sergey, when the guy is just really a nice guy. But
he wasn't a nice guy. He was. He still tried to force himself on Iris.
He was told to.
He was told to.
They told him to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tina.
Yes.
Why,
And that.
If they're trying to steal his money, why would they tell him to do that? What's his game?
Because they wanted for Iris to kill Sergey.
But yeah, all right. So I'm Kat. Hey Kat. Hey Sergey. Come on to this girl so she can kill you and we could take your money.
No, they didn't know he was going to get killed.
He knows that she's a robot.
They wanted to kill him.
Right, they wanted to.
Yes,
But-
that's why he put the knife in her pocket and he turned off
Right.
the safety when he.
Sergey did not know he was going to get killed.
Sergey didn't know. Sergey was told that that
So
it's
what's
a robot.
Ser-
It
what's
won't
his gain?
harm you. Whose gain?
Sergey's game.
He wanted a piece of Iris because
It was just
he was a married man who slept
with a mistress.
I
The
got you.
The mistress said, "Go ahead. It's a robot. I'm not worried about it. You're not gonna leave me for a robot." He was curious.
Yeah, all right.
His friends set him up. She's programmed not to harm humans. Actually,
he
go ahead,
did something
there.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, so what ended up happening is Josh set her up saying he had a hangover, go out on your own. And that's when she was upset. She's like, "But this was your idea." He goes, "No, go out there. I'll meet you out there."
Yeah, that's when I got suspicious.
So when Sergey went out there was because Kat sent him saying that it's gonna be better for Iris. And I forgot Josh. Yeah, it's gonna be better for them for him to have sex with Iris, because that's in her mind. It was almost set up to, all right, I'm sending him here to break you and Josh up. That was the intent of what Iris was thinking.
I must have missed all that. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Because
I'll
that's
watch it again.
That's
I
what it
am. No, I want to. I want to. Yeah.
So then, to top it off, Josh put her aggression level up because, he put it up because that way, if Sergey came onto her, she would attack. Because the fact that he comes onto her, she's cheating on Josh. She takes it, on a level of, personality. Her and Josh, so she hurt Sergey in the process. So that was the whole setup for that.
So Josh, to get this straight, he was okay with killing Sergey.
Yes.
They wanted.
Kat
they
was
wanted,
not though.
Kat was too. Kat and Josh
was
were both
too.
involved.
Yes.
In
So,
the
all right,
plot.
so
But Eli
Sergey just thought
wasn't.
he was just getting a piece of
He was getting his
automaton
piece.
booty.
He was gonna try his first android,
Gotcha.
basically, or robot. That's literally all he was. Like he's like, all right, he
Because
said that he was but he said he was given the okay.
Remember when he smacked her to the ground, he said, "This is what you guys are made for." So he even made that comment too, and then she ends up killing him.
Cool.
And I forgot the question because we were going. So what was the question?
Just everything that happens after she gets jailbroken.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
basically, that happens, and then when she comes back into the cabin, that's when they all act like they didn't know, even though Eli had no idea, because Eli was told a little bit later about it. So Eli had no idea what was going
Yeah,
on.
he didn't know. Yeah.
So that's when they basically tied her up, and then this is when it's revealed that Josh tells her she's a robot, but she doesn't feel like she's a robot. Which this is, I'll be honest, it kind of reminded me from David from Prometheus, because David, even though he knew he was a robot, remember they always told him you're never gonna have a soul, you're never gonna know what to be like. But David's reaction was always that he felt like he wasn't a robot, he was more than that. So I kind of tied that a little bit to that. For some reason, I just thought of David from Prometheus because of the fact that, even Josh's reaction to her is like, you're a robot, you're not a person. And this is when he went full the boys mode. I was like,
Oh, all right. I mean, anything. Well, so like I said, after she gets jailbroken and the whole plan comes out, you then have them try to figure out how they're gonna call the cops, and Iris gets away. And basically, I loved when she gave herself the intelligence. I'll say though, it's kind of weird that they just gave it the level of an Ivy League. Why not go like full blown, have access to like the internet and shit like that? But I love the sequence where she's coming up with the plan. She's like, well, now that you're this smart, let's see what you come up with. She's like, hitchhike. And she's like this, and the guy goes, what the fuck? She goes, yeah, no, we're not gonna hitchhike. But that's what I mean. Like all the events that took, when I know the question is broad, but just discussing all the events that took place, because it went from, basically hunting her down and her trying to get away to all these situations, which like there's a one nitpick that I have on this, especially when it becomes talking about the robots. But Rick, I'm gonna go to you.
Yeah, when they gave her the 100% intelligence, I thought she was gonna become like David, some like smart talking, like scientifically proven, mathematician. If she was still like Iris, she was just like, she probably understood more as to the situation and how to get from here to there. She was able to make a plan easier. She was able to think for herself clearer. But I was like, damn, if I got 100% intelligence, I thought she was going to become like a super genius. You know what I mean? Same. But that's okay. It's all right. But I did enjoy the scene with the cop when he just pulls up. First of all, he sees her breaking through the window with her feet. Gets out the car. He's still like, hey, is everything okay? Oh, I'll take you back to that point. Bro, she's like, look, she broke look how she escaped the car. You don't find that suspicious at all? That's the reason why you stopped it, wasn't it? You completely forgot about that. But I love when Patrick came in there full Terminator style, just no emotions, came in there, just fuck that dude up, bro. I was like, oh no, we got a problem now, because he quickly shut off Iris. But I did like it did give Iris a better clear of thinking for herself. I guess that's what the intelligence was for, I'm assuming. Yeah. Maybe that's what they were going for. You did get that nice little moment between Eli and Patrick, when Patrick revealed that he knew all along. He figured it out. He was a robot, a companion, and he still loved Eli. Hey Joe, you're a charismatic guy, bro. The robots will still love you, bro.
But so when you were getting back to when you were talking about the cop, what I liked was that intelligence made her go,
oh yes,
to German, dude, and she starts talking.
That's smart.
Yeah, and then you see in the closed captioning, I had to switch to German because I can't lie. So that way, like she's like, "How's Sergey dead?" It's just like you're watching it.
You're underwater.
Yeah, it's not like you're underwater.
Oh,
yeah,
I'll come closer. I look when we were watching it. It was just like a genius to do that. But yes, when you're all of a sudden seeing Patrick show up, which was the critique that I had, because why is Patrick able to like basically punch a guy's face in, but she can't have the same amount of strength?
Because he changed it. Remember, he reset Patrick, and he made Patrick's aggressive level go all the way to 100.
I guess she didn't mess with. Well, no, he had her aggressive levels up also, though.
Right, but with him, because he had planned to go get her at whatever cost.
No, I guess what Joe's trying to say too. I did think about this, but I didn't put too much thought into it. But yeah, Patrick did feel like a Terminator. He had like super strength. The way he just picked up people and flung them. Iris didn't have any of that. She couldn't fling people around. She could. She would have been fucked.
She's a
everybody up.
robot though,
But
so
maybe there was, like Jared said, maybe there was a setting in there for strength, but maybe it got lost in the edit, or the director never even bothered
No,
putting it in there.
there was something that was mentioned because remember when they went to the house near the end, they mentioned that Patrick was the older model. They don't make those models anymore.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So he was the older model, and the reason she didn't
There
go,
was a reason for that line.
good
yeah.
catch, good catch.
Just out.
and then the reason she didn't go full sci-fi because they also mentioned that they can't bring her intelligence to the point where she becomes a threat at an AI level due to government regulations. So
All right.
that was another thing that she.
Oh,
couldn't-
thank JR. You just
Yeah.
answered my question.
Yeah, yeah,
Damn. Good
well,
shit.
they
JR's
had the
on a roll
regulations down
today,
there.
bro. That's
Well, they
true.
had
Yeah.
mentioned
Why
that-
would they make it a? Why would they put intelligence 100 if they could be super smart and take over the fucking world? Yeah, you're right,
Yeah.
JR.
Well, and my
good
other thought when I was watching it with my coworker last night, and he kind of goes, "Damn, that's messed up." So you can tell that guys made these robots because they made the men to be able to be stronger, and the women, even though they're robots, they did not give them any strength. And I'm like, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I thought about that.
I was like, I didn't think about that. I'm like,
strong,
that's
bro.
kind of messed up. That like they're gonna because when when the two guys showed up, the one guy said,
Sit
some of
and
these
tell
guys
me.
do all the, they torture, they do all these things to these robots, so they can't fight back, basically. So yeah, I kind of thought that was like a little bit of a like a, I don't know, weird thing.
I won't lie. I was getting so mad when Josh kept winning. Every time you think Iris got the upper hand, this motherfucker sneaks away somehow. Like everything goes his way somehow, but he got his at least.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. You want to hit up the comments before we go to
Yeah.
our closings?
I just got a few here. All right. Hey, devilishly
let's
handsome.
see.
Don't hate me. I haven't seen this film yet. We're not surprised. It's all good. But have fun, and I'll see you on the next live. Love you guys. We'll talk about the next live a little bit at the end of the show. That was an awesome twist by Selena. Yeah, and yeah. She got also my favorite scene. Which one, if you're still elaborate? The cop scene. Her aggressive level was lower than Patrick's level. Yeah,
Yeah.
we touched that already.
But yeah, let's go ahead and go to any closing thoughts. If this is your first time, you rate the movie 1 through 5, and we're gonna just dive into anything that you have left to think about on the movie. JR, I'll go to you first.
Well, this is the second film I've seen Sophie Thatcher in. I mean, she did a great role when she was in Heretics, and she's slowly paving her way as a good new horror female that is up and coming. I mean, I see the reason I say this is a horror romance. If you take the horror out of it, it's a romantic comedy because they do have a lot of romance in this. It is about love. It's about the fact that even though she doesn't realize she's a robot, her feelings and emotions captivate you, and that's why I think made her role even more interesting. You didn't,
Patrick too. Yeah, Patrick and
Yeah.
Eli. Yeah.
but the fact that with her is her devotion, because yes, she was programmed to have that devotion to a scary level. Because it was funny that scene where they're dancing and she sees Josh talking to Kat, and she like jealousy came in and she went across the room, like pulled him. So she had all these.
Did you notice?
Yeah.
During that dance scene, if you look at Patrick, he's doing the robot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty fucked up.
But do you also see that when she gets to the dance too, that Patrick actually grabs her to dance? That Sergey gets up really creepy and goes behind her, does this
Yeah.
before it cuts to her and Josh again. So they were already sprinkling Sergey's motives that he wanted a piece of art. And to top it all, is like, yeah, I get my hands dirty. The dude was a sod farmer, man.
That's the best that he actually,
I get my hands.
his
He literally,
job it was in the literal sense, not in the what do you call that, Mr. Englishman, whatever that term is.
No,
when you mean
the
it
funny
in a way.
part though was the fact that the whole time Josh thought he was in the mafia, and the cat was. I never really said he was in the mafia. I just say he does.
Yeah, they mentioned this guy. He was child trafficking and all types of. How the fuck did he get all that?
Yeah.
It wasn't even true.
No, and the fact that when Eli found out, I thought that was a fun part when Eli found out too. Is he was more upset the fact that he wasn't told about the plan. So that was, the whole time he was in the woods, that's all he was complaining to Patrick about. So this is one of these movies once again where you actually like all the characters. I mean, even though Josh was a pure prick, Kat was built to be evil, but in reality, I didn't hate her at all at any moment in this film. I thought she was funny, especially like when Josh tells Patrick stop her, he stabs her.
Yeah.
And she turns around and she goes, just shut the fuck up for once.
Yeah, because she's smart, because once she sees that Josh is like having Patrick go out there murdering cops, you know what I'm saying? Eli's dead. She's like, you know what? This is not what I signed up for. I'm out. I'm taking that money from. And I love how she exactly kind of how much was her cut too, just by.
Yeah. And the irony is, she goes and she sits next to Iris and goes, "Looks like it's gonna rain," and that's her last words. And she passes.
Which is because when Josh always asks her what's the weather, and she stops and sounds all robot.
That's another thing I didn't catch, that when they woke up that morning after the party and Josh says what's the weather, she could completely her she's very monotone, and it's like an app. It's like you're speaking to an app. What's the weather today? And by the way, did you guys know that Iris is back up for Siri? Siri, what's the weather today?
Oh really?
Well, Iris, Siri. It's
I
it's a
didn't even think about that.
And the funny thing,
not a palindrome. No, technically not. But
and I think one of the things that you pick up early is how he told her twice to go to sleep.
Yeah. Oh, dude. If you go, yes.
The first time he did it, she was on her side in the bed. Because when I rewatched it, I caught that because since she was on her side and it was dark, you didn't get to see her eyes go white.
Yeah.
And then when he says it the next time, but
he woke her up and he put her to sleep.
Yep.
Yeah. And
man busted that nut and was like,
go to sleep. And she's just laying there with a smile on her face. I'm like, I don't think she enjoyed that. But then, she's a robot. And then she's like, I hope I wasn't acting weird. And go to sleep. I'm like, what the fucking
asshole. That's when you got some hints. Like, this guy, he didn't love her. He had ulterior motives. Even before I knew she was a robot, I knew Josh had ulterior motives, just by little things like that. Once he got his little nut off, and he's like, "All right, I'm done with you. Go to sleep." I was like, "Damn, that's fucked up. That's kind of rude."
Overall, I think I'm gonna give this movie a 4. It was enjoyable. I do recommend people to watch it. It has, like the kill scenes are the 2 kill scenes that are like the best ones. They came at the right time, with the cop getting his face bashed in. And the one where she tells him, "Josh, go to sleep." With the automated corkscrew. Good kill.
When she said that, I swear to God, I thought his eyes were gonna go white, and I go, "What the fuck?" This movie's. But yeah, I really thought that was gonna be another little twist that Josh actually was also a robot.
Look, go back to watch it, because when she put it there and you see his face, his eye almost looks like white. So that was a good twist. But yeah, overall, I'll give it a 4. She did a great performance. I'm a fan of hers. Like I said, all the characters were good. They played their roles. Eli and Patrick were good, like off-screen character type. Like they're not the mains, but their scenes are so much fun to watch that you almost like sometimes. I'll be honest, you wish that maybe it was a little longer just to have more of them too, because the way they worked together was hysterical, and you want a little bit more of them. But overall, I give it a 4. It's a fun film. I gave it a 4 because I don't know what else they could have did to bump it up even higher than the 5. I think the movie did what it needed to do, and for me, a 4 is a good score.
And a great runtime too, 1 hour and 39 minutes. And
didn't
I
feel
will
like
say,
it either.
As soon as it was done, when she did the corkscrew, I turned to Adam. I went, as Rick would say, Chekhov's gun. Did you notice the 2 scenes where they focus right on it when they're opening the wine? You don't think about it until you get to that scene, and you're like, twice that corkscrew was
also
right in
there's another
the
one
camera.
too, Joe. When she came in with the knife the first time after she killed Sergey, and she threw it, of course, if the camera, there's no reason for this, but the camera caught the knife landing at a specific spot, and that came into play
later on. Oh shit, I did, and I watched the movie twice, and I totally missed that. All right,
if there's one more thing I wanted, though, I'll be honest with you. At the end, kind of wish you would have left with Teddy.
Teddy.
I was like, yo, that'd be cool. Teddy becomes a millionaire and he gets the robot that he helped.
Oh, that would have been a funny twist.
Yeah. Yeah, this movie for me is definitely a solid 4 out of 5 as well. I highly enjoyed this movie. Very entertaining. I don't think it's not a 5 because it's not it didn't blow me away or anything like that. But there's no to me this movie has no faults in it. There's no real negatives to point out. The movie's fun, and you mentioned Joe the runtime is like an hour and 40 some minutes.
39.
Yeah, close. But it goes by really quick and you're never bored, you know what I mean? And if you notice too, another hint, this one was someone brought this to my attention. I didn't find this, but when Iris is in the shower and she comes out of the shower, if you notice her makeup is still on completely. Oh, Joe, your camera's all blurry. What the fuck you do, bro?
Oh,
Yeah,
stop.
we did.
Oh, I didn't do anything.
Well, happy, right?
Yeah, I needed to put eye drops. My eyes were
Oh, I
super
was
dry.
saying, like,
Yeah, you're blurry
he
for some
comes
reason,
in back
huh?
like, what the hell's going on, man? This is crying on live.
No, but yeah, if you notice that, yeah, her makeup. So that look with the lipstick, that's all. Dude, that's
Already
robot.
comes that way.
It comes
Huh.
that way. And another thing I wanted to bring up before. Now this I noticed. This is how I knew she was definitely a robot. Is even in the flashback, the movie starts with the grocery store, whatever. She always had always a similar outfit with the same little, what do you call that headband thing she wears? I don't know. You guys
A
are
headband.
Joe, what is that? What do women call that?
The headband, huh?
I guess
A
headband,
headband.
whatever.
Yeah,
I thought I had a similar thing. But anyway, every outfit that she wore had that. It's like an accessory. That's how she came, and that's part of her outfit. So I knew, okay, there's something different about this character because she's always dressed very similar and always has the headband on. Every shot you see her in has the headband on. So,
Which is what
But-
gave me the Stepford vibes feel.
yeah.
I mean, Stepford vibe feel.
And also too, the conversation with Kat, when Kat was, she asked Kat, why don't you like me? He says, no, it's not that I don't like you. It's just I'm jealous of you because, in a way, Kat feels threatened that
Yeah.
she's replaceable.
And she said that.
Yes. So you don't catch that until you figure out the twist, though, because you're wondering, because you think, okay, you know how movies like this always got the one jealous girl that she's the hot thing, and then the dorky girl comes in, but they're always threatened by them. I got that vibe at first, but then once the movie's over, and I always go back and think about things, oh, that conversation makes so much more sense now. I'll catch it when I watch it again to get more details on it. But I did happen to catch that. But this movie's I really had a good time with this movie. It's so much fun. I recommend this to anyone to watch it. It's a movie. It's violent, it has gore in it, but it's not egregious. It's not gonna
No.
insult anybody if you're not into that kind of thing. But it still keeps that lighthearted tone of the film. And I love the fact that they put the cop outfit on Patrick. By the way, too, because he's called Patrick after Robert Patrick. That's a fact, and that's why they put him in the cop outfit. And I love when he killed Sid, when he's just standing in front of the fucking that part pissed me off. Cause that's when I said, this fucking Josh keeps fucking winning. I knew it. He had Patrick out there, shot Sid in the fucking chest a few times, and Teddy runs all like, no, don't kill Teddy. But yeah, man, solid 4 out of 5. I wouldn't even go into a 4.5 level, but again, I gave Sinners 4.5. It's not on the same level.
Same.
So I'm gonna keep it a solid.
But it is. Remember
4.
that your scores are always a personal score.
And it's all subjective too. It's all
Yeah, it is
subjective. So that's why that's my reasoning behind it. So I don't want people to think, oh, 4 out of 5. That's a fucking great score.
That's a great
So,
score. No,
yeah.
it's still a great score.
Cool.
I'm gonna say I'm mad that we didn't put this
Yeah,
to go see in the theater.
I thought that
I'm
too.
mad.
I thought
I'm mad. When I told Adam, I'm like, we should have seen this in the theater,
Yeah.
and it's only an hour and a half. Like
I didn't know
this
that it
was
was
so.
produced by Kriegers, Barbarian.
I think it
produced
is. Yeah.
Or did he write? Who wrote this film?
No, I think they're the producers.
Okay, so he was behind it, but he didn't write. Okay.
Well, and one of the reasons that Sophie Thatcher also got the role, she can actually cry from one eye at a
Oh
time,
no, yeah.
which
I read about this
with
somewhere.
Iris had done that. So I thought that
Yes.
was pretty cool.
That was cool.
But yeah, again, after I was done, I was like, so disappointed, and I wish I saw this in the theater. This is such a good movie. This is like, I see why everybody was saying how much of a surprise it was for them, how fun it was, how it's greatly scored. Not many people really talk bad about it. For me, because like I said, the beginning was Stepford Wives, the end was Ex Machina. When she's in the shower and you see her take
Oh
off.
yeah,
the
thank
thing.
you for bringing that up. Her hand got burned. Yes.
Yeah, it got burned. So when you see her take it off,
Yeah.
now she didn't take Patrick's his flesh and put it on.
She didn't want. I guarantee she. You know, I like this.
But
I'm gonna
I
keep it.
liked when she's looking at the clothes. It reminded me of how oh my god, what was her name in Ex Machina? The robot.
Oh, you mean the Oscar Isaac movie?
Yes.
I thought you meant in Ex Machina in general.
No,
Like
no, the
current-
Oscar Isaac movie when
great
it
film.
ended.
I forgot her name. But
When
I
it
know what you mean.
ended,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
well, after she kills him,
Yes,
you
yes.
show her then putting
Awesome
the
movie.
parts and then looking for clothes, getting dressed, like picking the wig, and then it ends. She's in the car because there's continuous credit scenes. She's just driving and she comes along another robot that looks just like her.
It's her model, her same model.
And yeah, and then she just waves with her robot arm.
I love
and
how
the
the
girl's
robot was
like,
confused. Like, huh?
yeah, like what the fuck? Because first of all, she probably was like, why does she look like me? And what is wrong with her arm? But yeah, no, the movie, it was a huge surprise hit for me. JR, I mean, I agree. Patrick and Eli, technically you would, Jack is a star, but I think everybody just delivered their roles. They did great in their roles.
Everyone shined. Yeah.
They shined. When Patrick and Eli were in the back and he's on the phone, he goes, "No, she's not going anywhere." And she comes walking out, and Patrick's like, "Eli, Eli." He's like, because and again, it shows you the
I'm like,
dismissiveness.
Joe, Eli. I'm sorry, dude. Every time I see that actor now, I've seen him. He's in a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, he was in the series of what we do in the shadows.
Yes, he's also the voice of Nightwing in the Harley Quinn show.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah,
But
he's Nightwing.
I think, and I think he's in the. I think he might be in the new Jurassic Park. I'm not sure, but yeah. I mean, again, the cast all around was great. I like seeing Jack kind of play the villain. Yes, we saw him do that in Scream. But Scream, he was going for like the crazy killer. This guy, it was it was just a kind of a loser who had enough money to rent the robot because he was only going to use this for his plan to kill Sergey.
Yeah.
And then I loved it when it turns out that Sergey just was his family did sod. I mean, you guys killed this poor guy who was not trafficking humans.
He just wanted a piece of some cyborg ass.
Yeah, and that's it. He just wanted to try it. I mean, again, if you really think about the situation, he's a married man there with his mistress. So is it beyond the realm of somebody who's there with his mistress to say, hey, she's not human, she's a robot. I mean, I'm not really cheating on you, honey. I love you. She ain't gonna come looking. You know what I mean? So a conversation that could have been had. It's kind of like I lost my train of thought there. But yeah, no, it's a 4 for me also. I want to go a little higher myself too. Same thought process. We just did Sinners, which was obviously much better movie, but this was still just as good. And this is why this is one of those that it's the surprise hit. Yeah. We're only in the first quarter of the first third of the year now, guys, right?
Mm-hmm. This is the
first third of the year. So right now, the two biggest of the first third are Companion and Sinners right now.
3.
If Sinners,
because Hardy Eyes gets talked about.
Hardy Eyes up there too.
If I haven't seen Sinners though, and for me personally, if I haven't seen Sinners, Companion would have been my favorite film of 2025 so far. But Sinners is still on top. But Companion is number 2. I'll be honest. As far as movies I watched, I didn't see Hardy Eyes yet, but movies I've seen, 1 and 2 right there. We just did them back to back. It's it should be a great year. Not just for horror. I mean, we got some great fucking movies in general coming out this year, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, and just to give a little cadence or credence, whichever the right word is, to what JR was saying, where there's the rom-com in this. When she's on the phone with him and he's breaking up with her and she uses the generic, it's not, but yeah, she's breaking up with him. I'm sorry. She's breaking up with him and she goes, it's not you, it's me. Again, my coworker, it's like listening to other people. He's like, oh no, she's not using that line. I'm like, a robot can think of something better to say is literally dropping that line. And it made you laugh because he goes, wait a minute, are you breaking up with me? Like it was just it did have, like, I can see what JR was saying on that, because again, you know, she was in love with him because it was programming, you know, but then I kind of felt like I still was sometimes at one point, maybe Josh doesn't want to get rid of her. Maybe he did really like her because he was kind of a loser. But, you know, once she said, after he
Bro,
said his whole thing.
my man got a talking car, bro. He ain't no loser, bro.
But he had to, I mean, to
Compared to
himself, he
Sergey,
felt,
I
yeah,
guess.
to himself, he felt that way. But, you know, when
Well-
she sat there and read him and, you know, she went to, and you got an average sized penis. I'm like, oh, she's like hitting
Below
him everywhere. Below average.
Below. Hold on, Joe. I got something for you, Joe. Hold on. After this one, hold on. When she steals the phone and changes all her, you know what? At the end of the film, right? I'm assuming she kept her intelligence at 100, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because remember, she's not controlled by the
Oh,
app
no.
anymore.
She told, Chair, what was his name?
Teddy.
Teddy.
She told Teddy, I need you to do me a favor.
Yeah.
So Teddy probably, what do you call
Well,
it?
he did it to the
Jailbreak.
point where she didn't need. No, she didn't.
No, he freed her.
Freed her.
from the
Okay.
phone.
Yeah, he's not
She could do
attached to
whatever
the
she
app
wants.
anymore. Here you go, Joe. It's for you, Joe. Your boy, yo, Attic. What up,
up?
fam?
What up,
Haven't seen
Billy?
this one yet. All right, Attic. I know you're probably not here right now, but if you watch this back, oh man, I hope we didn't spoil nothing for you. But hey, man, watch the film, bro. Watch it. I would love to know your opinion on it. Hope you're doing well, brother. And we got P Rockzilla.
P-Rock.
Is it chick from? Yes, that's her. Sophie side.
Yep, that's Natalie.
Thatcher. It's funny because I completely forgot she was on that. I saw her as, oh, that's the girl from Obi-Wan. I haven't seen her in all the
Isn't
films.
that also?
She's in Obi-Wan, yeah.
Sophie Thatcher?
Yeah. The series,
Oh, I
the
didn't
series,
know.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Huh. Damn,
What was
she's
the
a
movie
lot.
you said she was in?
Heretic.
I didn't see Heretic yet.
Oh, Heretic.
I didn't
You
see
still
it.
got to check that one
I was
out.
going to. You guys reviewed it. I was
Yeah.
supposed to be there, but I got sick, unfortunately. I never went back to watch it.
Yeah, you
but-
gotta watch it, dude. It's good.
Yeah, you got to check it out. All right. So if you have joined us, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this on the replay, we appreciate you. Make sure to hit that subscribe and follow for all the updates for all the shows that we're dropping on here. And next week, the Fourth Corner is going to be joining us. We're not going to the movies. She has been asking for this one. So we're going to be doing The Deliverance. It is streaming on Netflix, and Lexi will be joining us for that one. And with that, Rick, take us home.
With that being said, stay good, stay healthy, stay absolutely enthusiastic about going to the theaters, because let me tell you, since we've been doing this, I've been having a blast. But hey, drink that beer, water, tea, coffee, whatever you do. But most of all, stay scared and appreciate horror films. See you in the next one.